Exodus 21 verse 7. When a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. Right? So there's a difference now between female slaves and male slaves. And the father's selling this girl out. But see, for the man, it's more a question of he has his ancestral land, he lost everything, he can't provide anymore for his family, maybe for himself even, so he sells him out for 6 years to build up some kind of, so that he can get out, get back to the ancestral land, buy the seed that he needs, so that he can, and then provide for his family again. For a girl, it's different. She does not have the ancestral land. There's no point for her. She can keep on working or whatever and buy seeds, but there's nowhere to go for her, right? Ultimately, different circumstances. So, but yes, they have a worth as well, because they bear children, which will be then can work on the farm or something like that. They get married to them or something like that. So they have a different, I don't want to say look like the girls are like cattle or something like that. It's like the cow can give calves and give birth to calves, and then you have more, and it's an income kind of. So the girl can give birth to children, and then they're like an income. I mean, that's true. They kind of did look like that at it, but maybe not that simple. So her coming in differs, and the reason for her coming in differs, and the reason for the coming in of the man, and the responsibilities on him and on her differs. Okay, because he needs to take care of his family, so work so they can take care of his family. So yes, the rules are therefore going to be different. We don't know what all the reasons for the selling. Again, most likely a monetary reasons, that they just can't afford it. And then there's like a bride price. It's always a bride price connected to the girls. I mean, in certain cultures still today, like in certain cultures in South Africa, Zulus or whatever, people pay still a bride price, cows or whatever. Look at Jacob Zuma and the bride price he had to pay X amount of cows. Right. Verse 8. If she does not please her master, who has designated her for himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has broken faith with her. Okay, so so it seems as well, in certain sense, maybe he is marrying her as a slave. He's paying like a bride price, and he's paying a slave price, a double price literally for her. Okay, why? Oh, there are a number of reasons. He can be married already, and if he marries her as just a wife, then she gets, and her offspring gets as well, the family property. It needs to be divided equally. Right? Now, if he marries her as a slave still, then she loses the right to the property. So she's a wife with all the rights that the wife has, in the sense of taking care of the sexual rights and all those kinds of things. She has all those rights. We'll still see it later on. But she and her offspring, they don't have the right to the land, to the property. Yesterday, speaking of the brother, and he mentioned that his father got married again, and he was at that stage living in Nepal, and because of this, he came back so as to make sure that the family property stays in the original family, right? Because that's how the culture works. It needs to be, because this is a direct line, right? So in this case as well. So this is a reason why he ultimately can pay not only the bride price, but as well a price for a slave woman, so that she is a bride, but she has no right to any of the property. Okay? So it makes a lot of sense. So now it might happen that, right, she's not pleasing her husband or the master, or he, for some reason inside, it doesn't feel well with her. Well, he can let her be redeemed. What does it mean to be redeemed? You need to buy her out. So you need to not only pay the bride price, but you need to pay the slave price as well. So because he paid twice for her, so if you want to redeem her, you need to pay twice for her. Simple. But yes, he's not allowed. Okay, so he can't go, and so there's no redeemer for her, right? No Boaz to buy her out, kind of idea. So you can't just go and then, oh, I don't want her anymore, and I would just sell her off to get some of my money back, kind of, to some other foreign power. No, he can't do that. He can't do it because that ultimately will mean that he broke his faith with her, because this is what he promised the father. He will keep her. This is now a slave wife kind of idea, and so you can't just go out and just get rid of her in this way. It would have been, it is illegal. Okay, so maybe she loses in certain of the rights of that, but you can't sell her. That's all. Okay, helicopter flying, landing here. I think it's an army camp or something here, very close by. So it's just landing over here. Okay. Verse 9. If he designates for her for his son, he shall deal with her as with a daughter. Now, so in other words, he can buy her as give her the bride price and the slave price, but not for himself, but for his son. So yes, now he gives it to the son, and how he's supposed to treat her, not like a slave, but as a daughter. Even though he paid the slave price as well, so that she won't get any of the belongings of the son now. The same thing might go true for the son. He might already have, and he might have fallen in love with her kind of idea, and he doesn't want the family property to go to this slave girl's family, so he makes sure the son can't give it to her, so he buys her double the slave price and the wife price, and he gives her. But how he's supposed to treat her, not as a slave, right, but as a daughter. Verse 10. If he takes another wife to himself, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, or her marital rights. So yes, he can go and, well, he bought this girl, slave wife kind of idea, and then he falls in love with someone else later on and does the same thing to someone else. Or he might think, okay, this girl is better and he wants to give this stuff to her kind of idea. And I wonder now, like, it's a little bit like Abraham and Hagar kind of idea, where Sarah let it just go. Right? Remember, in that case, these laws were not in power yet, and anyhow, God was the one ultimately taking care of Hagar. I'm just going now through chapter 21 there with my evening students, my Bible students, and so it's very fresh in the head from last night. So he can't just now then get rid of her in any way, form, or shape. Okay, he can't diminish her food. You can't like, okay, I'm going to give her less food now that hopefully she will run away or something like that, or commit suicide, anything, right? He can't just like give her nothing. He needs to take care of her. Okay, unlike again what happened with Hagar and Abram and all of that, but again, God was the one who took care of it, and God said He will take care of her ultimately. And he, the food, he can't diminish the food, the clothing. Sorry, I'm just now verse 11 now, already jumped over it. The food, the clothing, and the other third thing is, so don't let her go naked or something. And for women, clothes are very important. And and the last thing is the marital rights. So he can't, even if he has now a new wife, he still need to give her a marital due, what is, in other words, sexual due, what she is worthy of. And he goes, oh, I have another wife and I just want to be with this wife and I don't want to love you anymore in this sense. No, he still needs to do all of these three things: food, clothes, and as well in the physical contact. Verse 11. And if he does not do these three things for her, she shall go out for nothing without payment of money. So he has a right, okay? So if he doesn't do these things, then she has the right to just leave. No need for a redeemer. No need to pay back the money to the father for buying her as a slave or a wife. No need for any of that. She's free. He broke his side of the bargain. She's free. It's like in contract breach. Right? If you have a contract with someone and you break your contract, then you broke your word. So that other person, if he owed you money, he doesn't owe you anymore because you broke your side of the bargain. You didn't give what you ought to give to him, so now he is free. Okay, so again, if you use the example for Verstappen and Red Bull, They have a point in the clause. If he falls below a certain level, then he has the right to, without it's in his contract, right? Without paying them tens of millions of dollars to get out of his contract, he's free to leave, right? He can go to another team, okay? And well, he didn't end up at that level on the fourth, so he's still third. He'll most likely end up third, maybe second. And so there's the same kind of thing. In the clause, he belongs to them, but if they can't keep their side of the bargain, then he's free. He doesn't need to get all this money back. And so the same thing with her as well. If this guy doesn't give the food, the clothing, because and the marital rights, then she's free. She can go. No need to give anything ultimately back.